are also joining on the second meet.
Okay. Okay, dear students, just write down your name in chat box. Aditya, I will share this recording to you also.
Yeah, sure, sir. After this, yeah.
So, so I think we can start now. Okay, Aditya, can we start?
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
Okay, okay. Dear students, write your name in chat box.
Hello. Yes, sir. We can start.
Okay, okay. So I welcome to all of you for this interactive session. I hope that all of you are safe and healthy in this difficult time of the pandemic. Basically, students, it is very important in your engineering education, your presence in on campus, because you can learn many things from your seniors as well as from your teachers by doing the interaction. Okay, but due to this COVID pandemic situation, it is not possible for us to meet on the campus. Okay, but it is necessary for all of you in your first year. You must get properly guidance. So for that one, just my department, mathematics department, just we are taking a very small initiative. We will try to conduct some few sessions or interactive session with your alumni. So today Aditya is with us. Okay. So welcome Aditya.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay. Just let me give the very short introduction of Aditya. I'm very happy to say that Aditya is one of my favorite students. He completed his engineering in computer science in 2019. After his engineering, okay, he joined the IIT Bombay for his MTech. Okay. I'm very happy to say that very few students qualified GATE examination in the final year. Most of all students repeating for 1 year and then they are qualifying that GATE examination for getting the admission in IIT Bombay. But Aditya qualified this exam in his final year and he also secured All India rank 60. Not only this achievement, okay, the one of the achievement is that Aditya is the one of the students of that batch who selected for the highest package. Okay, I'm if I'm okay, if I'm correct, I think that the Amazon interview was on near about 27th or 26th January, and his gate examination was also about the first or second week of January. He
Hello.
simultaneously he simultaneously qualified both the things. It is a very great achievement. Okay, and very few students do such type of things. Okay. Now, I'm also happy to say that Aditya also recruited in a very reputed company, Dream 11, and of course he also received also there a very good package job. Okay, and as whatever experience I have with the Aditya, he is a very sincere, hardworking student and very good human being. Whenever all of you want any help from him, he is always ready to help all of you. Okay. So I hope that this is a very Aditya is a very good person at this time to guide you all of you properly. Okay, so I hope that you will clear all of your doubts and your future and you can discuss your some future planning if you want some proper guidance for your future career. Of course, Aditya will help properly. Okay, so I'm very thankful Aditya for accepting my invitation, okay, to guide your juniors. I think that you will also the happy you are getting the again of an opportunity to discuss the things with your junior. Okay, I welcome you again, Aditya. Now, Aditya, this session is over to you. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the quick introduction. That was really of great help. So I must say that I've always liked the teaching given by Ranjit sir. So it has always been like very interesting for me to attend his classes, attend the maths related subjects, whichever I have learned from him. And it was those classes which played a very vital role in my in the direction of my career. So I used to consult him on the basis of what I should be doing next, whether there is a scope for higher studies and not all those things. So he used to guide me very properly, and it was that guidance that has also played a very vital role in what I'm doing right now. So thank you, sir. Thank you for always being there to guide me. And so yeah, so as sir has mentioned that all of the students who are attending this session are from first year computer science background. So first of all, I'll be sharing my experience, how my journey has been so far, like the important parts of it. Then I would be sharing what all things that I think should be done at the current scenario, like looking at how fast the world is changing. So how you guys can make the best out of your time. So Rohan, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. So then I'll be sharing various experiences that I've had, like from my BTech, MTech, and my internship at Amazon, and so that way you can make the best out of this session. Also, if at any point of time you have any queries, you can just write them in the chat section, and I would be happy to help and happy to answer those things. So starting from engineering, like from the first year. So I was also one among many students who pursued engineering from RCOM Nagpur, and I started it like with the computer science branch only. So when I joined college, nothing was very much clear for me, like what I want to do later on, what I should pursue after this, whether it should be job or higher studies. I didn't knew any part of it. All I knew was just that it is a 4-year course, and you need to learn and you need to study engineering subjects to get it clear. So yeah, so I started as an ordinary student. I didn't knew much what I was about to do, what I'll be doing. I just used to get I just used to study for the exams. I used to clear them, and I used to enjoy with my friends and all, because it was the first year. So I didn't want it to think much about the future and anything else. Just wanted to make the best out of the engineering life. So this is what my plan was initially, like as soon as I started with the engineering journey. So in the first year, as we know that it has nothing to do much with your branch, like it has nothing to do with computer science. Everyone has the same subjects, same set of subjects. We used to
So
have
nice,
a
so nice.
programming introduction to programming. We used to have an introduction to programming class. That subject was scheduled for us, and apart from that, there was just regular what we can say, regular labs and everything, as usual it is for across all the branches. So in the first year means it was the first time that I was getting introduced to the programming domain. So it was like very difficult for me to get started with it. So you might be thinking that it is I knew a lot. That's why I have got the internship, and I am studying master. I am doing masters in computer science at IIT Bombay. But it is nothing like that. Means even when I was in the first year, I struggled a lot with the computer science, like the programming subject, because it was the very first time I had introduced to programming. Before that, I never coded, or I never understood what the C or any of the programming languages. I was very much new to this. Even in the 12th, I pursued the electronics subject instead of computer science as a one subject that we take, optional subject or something. I don't remember much. So yeah, so that was the first time I was experiencing the computer science subjects, computer science related things. So first year went pretty much about like studying and enjoying with friends, nothing much about it. I didn't used to think anything else, what I'll be doing after this, or what should be planned, what skills are very important to be to keep handy if one need to get ahead in this domain. So yeah, I used to study. I was very much clear that I need to maintain a good set of pointer, because it sometimes matter a lot what your score is and everything. Marks sometimes do matter. So I used to maintain it. I remember getting a 9.51 pointer in my first semester. So once the first semester was done, I realized that I'm not making the best out of my time, because I used to think that, yeah, studying those subjects, like there used to be chemistry, engineering, drawing, everything. So I used to study all of them. So I realized that, yeah, this is not the best I can do of my time. Like there are many things, or many such things which I can explore, which in the domain of computer science. And I was also struggling with programming, as I mentioned. So I shifted my mind, or shifted my focus to programming rather than the basic engineering subjects. So this is what my plan was in the second semester. So so following this, in the second semester, my aim was to give less priority to like the subjects that I'm learning, and more priority to the computer science related activities. So this is what I've done. Like I just focused on learning programming. I used to give a lot of time to C programming, understanding the basics of it in and everything. And maths has always been like one of my favorite subjects, engineering mathematics. So I've learned maths from Ranjit sir only, like maths 1, maths 2, all of them. And yeah, I used to develop a lot of interest in that subject. So those were some of the classes that I used to pay a lot of attention to: engineering, drawing, and maths. Rest I was not very much interested, because it had nothing to do with computer science as such. So this was pretty much about the first year. So in second year, as we were introduced to the computer science subjects, so all of it, like I don't remember much, but there was operating system, theory of computational complexity, all of those things. So it was then I realized that, yeah, computer science is more about understanding stuff rather than remembering. So in 11th and 12th, we had to remember a lot of things when it comes to chemistry, right? So chemistry and all like learning has always been a very tough task for me. I never enjoyed learning anything without understanding it. So I faced a lot of problem. when it come to the learning part. But when I entered the second year, I realized that yeah, most of the subjects which are there in computer science has to do with logic and understanding rather than just learning it. So this was a very fascinating thing to me, that yeah, means this is something I can do. Like I have always been fond of understanding things, and computer science has everything to do with understanding rather than learning. So I used to enjoy a lot. Like I used to pay a lot of attention to some of the subjects. There was some subjects which I used to pay a lot of attention, like they became of my interest. So this is what happened in second year. So in second year, my focus shifted to understanding some of the subjects which are of my choice, and then learning something new in parallel to it. So in third semester, I didn't paid much attention to learning new skills. So in third year, I didn't pay much attention to learning new things. But when I entered the fourth semester, which is the end of the second year, so I realized yeah, there are lots of cool things that a computer science student can learn and implement. So it's like website development, it's like Android app development. So we used to come across lots of applications that were booming back then. So I was very much, it was the very first time that I could relate like how it is being made, because I have learned programming during my second year as well. So I used to relate like what is actually happening behind the website, like how this particular app is running, what all functionalities are there within that. So my focus shifted from being a user to like thinking from the implementation point of view. So second year was the most important thing that I experienced, because it introduced the sense of the power of computer science that I realized in the second year. So I used to pay a lot of attention to website development, Android application development. I used to keep learning new skills. So I used to give a very less amount of time to these things, but I used to make sure that I am learning something new, so which I could gain more interest in, because theory was never very much interesting to me. So I always used to focus on the implementation part of it. So then the most important year of engineering was for me was the third year. So in third year, I realized lots of things. Like there was a very much need to focus on certain skills from the job perspective, and there was a need to understand certain things from the higher studies point of view. So I means I used to read about a lot, like what students can do in the third year and how to make the best out of the engineering life and so on. So means enjoyment and everything used to go hand in hand. I'm like I never skipped anything till my third year. Like I had to never sacrifice anything till my third year, because I used to just maintain like I just used to manage my time accordingly, and it was never a problem. Like I used to handle college life and my skill sets and each and everything in parallel, because nothing much was required from it. But the third year was the time when I realized that yeah, now I should be very much focused to what I need to do ahead of engineering rather than just thinking about this particular time. So so I became part of various activity groups. So there was like Google Developer Student Club that came to a college. So it was the first time that Google DSC was recruiting for students who can be a part of this session. So I was the college representative. I was selected as the college representative from the entire campus for that activity. So when I became a part of it, I came in contact with around 200 plus students from the entire country. Like we four were there from Nagpur, and I alone was there from the campus. So this way, there were 200 students from the entire country, like some from that college, some from this college. So then we made a WhatsApp group and everything. So we used to stay in touch, like we used to communicate what others are learning, what is the important skill that one should have. So this was pretty much about it. Like I used to understand what the industry requirements are. I used to practice a lot of coding. So it was the year that I was introduced to competitive coding. So competitive coding, you might not be aware of it at present, but believe me, competitive coding is the only one skill which plays a vital role from the industry point of view as well as self growth point of view. So you might have heard that sometimes the college name doesn't matter. Anyone can get any company, and that's true.
क्या
So
बोला था
that's possible. So that's possible only because of competitive coding skill.
ए
Okay. Yeah. So that's possible only from the for the competitive coding skill. So I'll describe the briefs about it once done with all the 4 years. So in third year, I was a part of the Google DSC Summit. So I attended various summits. I used to travel to wherever a competition was being held, like VNIT. There used to be some robotic competition, so I used to be a part of it. And this way, I used to just expand the horizon of my skills. Like I used to attend each and every tech meet, whatever it is, even if I don't understand, I used to be a part of it, so that I can understand what is actually happening in this domain. So this skill was always in me, whether if I know something or I don't know. If I want to learn it, I used to just enter that particular team or anything, whatever is that the particular competition. I was never afraid of just losing the competition, or what if I don't get selected. I was never worried about that. My aim was always used to be enter something, explore it. If it is of your interest, move ahead in it, and otherwise just move to the next one. So this is the motto that I used to follow throughout the engineering. So in the third year, I also started with my gate preparation. So I came across various, like I used to read a lot about how people are doing, what people are doing after their engineering. And I came across that the GATE is an exam which you need to crack just to enter your master's. It's a 2 year program, 2 or 3 year program, depending on the rank that you get. And yeah, so that's something you need to get an master's degree. That's all I used to be aware of. So there is GRE, there is GATE. Each and every exam is just equivalent of it. But from GRE you can get into abroad universities. From GATE you can get into IITs, NITs, and other colleges from India. So I started preparing for GATE, a bit of it, like the subjects that I was done with till my third year. So I used to practice maths because it was my favorite subject, one of my favorite subjects. There was algorithms and data structures. That was again one of my favorite subjects. So I started with these two subjects, just 10 to 15 problems a day, 1 hour per day I used to give initially. So just to get accustomed with the exam and the topics that are there. So again, I don't remember much, but I think it was third year when we had to choose an optional subject. So I chose a subject again under Ranjit sir, which was I guess permutation and combination. So it was based on permutation and combination. And believe me, PNC has always been one of the subjects that I have been fear of. Like I never understood that subject, even in 11th and 12th or first year of engineering, like any at any point of time. So I always used to be afraid of that subject. But I realized that yeah, means if you are afraid of something and you get over it, so that's the best you can make out of your time. Like I used to be so much feared of it that I just took that subject, so that at least I can get a bit more better in that subject. And again, as Ranjit sir was taking it, so I was sure about that I'll definitely learn something out of it. So I, along with some of my friends who were also interested in learning this subject, we took this subject. So when I used to attend those classes and everything, so I realized that yeah, this subject is not that much tough as it looks. It's just the way a person teach that matters. So when Ranjit sir used to teach and we used to have a discussion, the class, students, and the sir, it was a very small batch. So we used to have very constructive discussions within that particular time. So I realized that yeah, means it is not that much tough. I used to enjoy learning that subject because I was not just learning something; I was understanding it for the first time, like what the term means, what permutation is, what combination is, and all those things. So it was that time that I realized, yeah, I need to study GATE from this perspective as well. I just don't want to learn anything as we used to do for other entrance exam. I need to understand things to perform better in that. And why this thing came? So what happened is, when I was giving this permutation and combination end semester exam, it was a 60 marks exam, I guess. So I secured like 55 marks out of 60 in that. And I was one among the highest scorers in this particular subject. So it was that moment which I realized that yeah, this used to be one of my fears, but now I have understood this subject from the basics of it, and now I'm able to score one among the highest marks in this. Not just marks, but I used to feel that yeah, I am understanding this subject way much better as I used to understand it before. So it was just the learning way, the way I was learning this subject, that was the problem, not my understanding or my intellectual thing and all those things that usually things. So what students do is they start doubting themselves. Instead of understanding what the actual problem is, they think that yeah, this is something I can never do. हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा. So this is the usual fact that people came across. So yeah, so it was then I realized that yeah, if in order to gate if I need to crack a gate with the high with the best possible rank, I should get the best possible coaching rather than just getting started with some other coaching. So there is a 2 months program at ACE Academy Hyderabad. So it is just a 50 to 60 days course, crash course kind of. They take classes from 5 a.m. in the morning to around 9 p.m. or 7 8 p.m. something. Okay, so it used to be a crash course class. So entire gate syllabus they used to cover in 60 to 65 days. So in like after my third year, I joined ACE Engineering Academy Hyderabad. So I consulted sir once again, because sir used to tell us a lot to be focused about gate exam. It's one of the doors that you can that will open the higher studies opportunities for you. So I was like just used to consult sir. So what can be done if this is a coaching? So sir was aware of this coaching and he mentioned that yeah, this is one of the best coaching that you should take. So then I made my mind that if I need to crack gate, I need to take the guidance from the best possible uh, classes. And there was two, like there was Made Easy and there was ACE Engineering Academy. But the problem with Made Easy was it was the minimum duration was 6 months, so you need to be there for 6 months, and that was not possible for me along with my engineering. So that's why going with the ACE Academy 2 months program, which was just after my third year exams. So if suppose my third year exams ended today, the batch was starting from tomorrow. Sorry, day after tomorrow, one day gap. So that was the last batch that one could take. So I registered for that batch. It was in Hyderabad. So once I was done with my third year, I booked the tickets to Hyderabad, and the next day I reached Hyderabad, and from the next day there were my classes. So as you can see that I used to be so much packed during my engineering days. I never used to waste time in my third year. Before that, I used to enjoy a lot, and I don't have any regrets regarding that because it was a time of enjoyment. But in my third year, I became very much serious about what I need to do and what skills I should be having. So once I joined ACE Engineering Academy, I used to study. I used to study the whole day because it was a crash course. So from 5 in the morning to like 7 to 8 p.m. in the evening, the classes used to happen. I used to attend them very sincerely because again, it was the teaching pattern that brought me to there because I was very much interested in learning those subjects. So 2 months went there. Then once I came back, the classes got started. So I got started with my engineering fourth year, which is seventh semester. So seventh semester started from, I guess, seventh semester started from June. Seventh semester started from July, and it was till December, I guess. So and the gate exam was scheduled in next year February. So I had like 6 to 7 months to prepare for my gate exam. So as attendance was also compulsory at our college, which usually is at any of the engineering colleges. So what I used to do is in the free time, I just used to revise my notes that I have made during my tuition classes. I used to study them in my free time, and I just used to hang out with friends for some time, and then I used to revise my subjects. So my whole day used to be wherever you get time, just prepare for gate exam, then attend college. Whenever there is college exams, focus on the college exams for a week around. I just used to give 1 week at most. I never gave much time, more time than that, because to be honest, I never felt that more than 1 week of preparation is required for college exams. Personally, means it can differ from person to person. Sometimes I used to study for 2 days, and I used to give exam and get good marks because I was focusing on understanding and not just learning. So that's why I used to get good marks and everything in such a short time. So I used to manage gate studies, my assignments, projects, and interview preparation, because after your seventh semester, interviews get started for preparation for placements. So I remember that in the seventh semester itself, Barclays was the first company that visited our college. So I got placed in Barclays. I was one among the 12 to 15 students whom they hired. So I was one among them. So my plan was to just take a job for the backup point of view, because when I used to prepare, I used to get lots of thought like what will happen if I don't get selected for this particular exam, or there used to be certain negative thoughts. You all might be aware of it. Like when we are preparing for certain exam, we always doubt ourselves what will happen if we don't get selected. Then what would be the other options? So that's why to minimize this negativity around me, I just took a placement. So Barclays was the one of the best companies that visited. I took my position there, and I didn't sit for any other companies, because you are not usually allowed to sit for other companies if you're selected in one of the companies. So now I used to had a lot of time, because when other companies used to visit, there was no much requirement for me to prepare for them. So I just used to focus on my gate exam full fledged. Like I didn't used to focus on Android or website development, any of those skills that I have prepared already in second year. Now I didn't focus on anything except from college studies and gate preparation. So I remember, like in February, which was sorry, in January, when Amazon visited our campus. So it was 30th January, and my gate exam was scheduled 3 days back, which is three after 3 days. So it was 3rd Feb. So I just had 3 to 4 days when Amazon visited. So as I practiced competitive coding in my second year, because I was very much aware that if you need to get selected in a good company, this skill is very much important as a computer science student. So I cleared that exam on 30th January 2019, and then I focused on like I assumed that I'll not be getting selected at Amazon, so I started focusing on my gate exam only. And on 3rd February I gave gate exam, and what happened is, just one day before gate exam, which is on 2nd February, the list was announced, like who have got shortlisted for Amazon interviews. So on 30th, it was a writing test, like coding test and aptitude test. So I cleared that. So on 2nd February, just a day before gate exam, a list was announced, and I was one among the many students who were selected for that exam. So I assumed that yeah, I'm not going to get selected for Amazon. Gate is the only thing that I should be focused upon, and I continued with my preparation seriously. Like I gave gate exam very much seriously. And once I came after giving gate exam, I thought that I won't be getting the college of my choice, because the exam didn't went pretty much well. I didn't perform well and all those things. So then I started, like I had a day. So I made my mind that yeah, I have got selected for Amazon interviews. So I'll make the best out of it. Even if I didn't clear gate, nothing, there should not be any problem, because all the things that happened, like I can't change anything. Exam has already happened. So I gave interview very much seriously. Like I didn't prepare much, because there was only one day left. So the Amazon interviews were on 5th February. My gate exam was on 3rd February. So just a one-day gap, and on 5th my interviews were scheduled. So once interviews were scheduled, believe me, like my gate preparation was the only thing that helped me to crack that interview. Because in interview they asked linked list, array list, all those concepts you might not be aware of right now. But all those concepts I've learned from the gate preparation point of view. So it was pretty much easy for me to crack that interview as compared to my knowledge that I had before preparing for gate. So I knew that yeah, if they take 2 to 3 students, I should be one among them, because my interview went pretty much well. So 15 days after that, the interviews results were announced, and I was the only student from the entire computer science branch to get selected for a 6 months internship at Amazon. And there was another student who is a great friend of me right now, who was from the IT branch, Bharat. His name is Bharat. So he got selected from the IT branch. So we were only 2 students from the entire campus who got this internship. So the internship had started from Feb itself. Like I remember the date was 25th February. So 25th February was the first day of our internship at Amazon, and it was scheduled till August 2019. Okay, so 6 months like that. In between that, we used to handle all our projects, assignments, everything from there only. We used to send images, PDF, and everything for our submission. And we both handled each and everything from there. And while I was completing my internship, on like 15th March 2019, GATE results were announced, and I secured All India rank 16 that. So still, I was not sure whether I'll be getting the college of my choice, which was IIT Bombay, because there are lots of students who take admission into IITs from previous year batches as well. Like even if you have given GATE in a particular year, your score is valid for 3 years. You can take admission in any of the 3 years, upcoming 3 years. So if you have given in 2015, you can take admission in 15, 16, 17, like that. So you can take for 3 years. So I was not sure whether I would be getting selected at IIT Bombay or not. And I was also clear about the fact that if I want to pursue masters, so it would be either IIT Bombay or ISC Bangalore, which are the two premium institutes for computer science or in general for higher education. Otherwise, I won't proceed. I would proceed with my job at Amazon. So when interview process and everything happened, I got selected at IIT Bombay. Like I was also got selected at ISC Bangalore for AI profile, like artificial intelligence profile, and for the computer science profile as well. But IIT Bombay was my highest priority, so I entered IIT Bombay. And yeah, so then I stopped, means I ended my internship during July, because July was the starting of my masters at IIT Bombay. So yeah, then life at IIT Bombay, like I used to again enjoy my engineering life. Yeah, means I don't used to take a lot of stress there, because I knew that this is something I should be focusing on, like making the best out of the environment rather than just sticking to studies only. So again, I made like I used to hang out with friends. We used to enjoy a lot. We used to participate in various activities, study, get exams cleared, and all those things. Then yeah, so this is pretty much about all the things as an overview that I wanted to explain you, the entire BTech journey. MTech journey is something which is not many of you can relate to, but BTech should be the something that you should make the best out of at present. So this is everything about my journey. And to mention that I was also lucky enough to have good friends. Like I used to have a very short group of friends, not like I don't use, I was very selective about having friends. So it's not like that I don't used to talk to anyone else and all. Each and every person in my batch was my friend, kind of my friend. But I used to hang out with a particular set of friends only. So there were 7 to 8 friends that I used to hang out with, like because they were very much aware that what need to be done what need to be done after their engineering. So we used to have constructive conversations along with like fun. So it was that kind of a group that I used to enjoy with. They are still some of my best friends that I have till now. So yeah, the most important thing to have during your engineering is to have the right set of friends. I'm not telling this from like just being selective in terms of from whom you can take the most benefit. It's not like that. Just the type of friends that you feel comfortable with, like in front of whom you are it's fun to be yourself. Like you don't have to act something different or like that. Many of you will face those problems once you proceed with your engineering, and yeah, that happens to each and everyone. So the most important point would be to have a very good set of friends, not just from studies and anything point of view, but the ones whom you think you fit very well with. Yeah, like your frequency matches with. So yeah, this is pretty much about it. So yeah, you may ask anything, any of your queries if you have specific, or then I can tell you how you can, like what should you be focusing on in the first year, second year, like what I think as per the post-COVID scenario, like what would be the best thing to be focusing on right now. Just my perspective. If you think it's correct, then you should follow it. Otherwise, you should keep thinking about your own perspective. So this is also one like one of the most important thing that I've learned from my engineering. So you should not just take other steps and tricks right away, because many people have their own set of beliefs. For example, some study at night and score good, some study early morning and score good, all those things. So it is very, very specific to the person who is sharing those ideas. Like the ideas that I've shared are very specific that work for me. If you follow the same, it's not necessary that they will work for you, right? So means just come up with your own set of thoughts, like what you think will works for you, what doesn't work for you. like hanging out with friends is something that you enjoy and everything, so you should do it. If you are just doing it for doing means just for hanging out purpose, there's nothing much you are enjoying, so there's no point doing all those things. So it should be very much specific to what you enjoy and what works for you. So that you should follow throughout your engineering. It should not be something like second year student is giving tips to first year students, so that's correct. That never happens. Because just to relate to why I'm sharing this tip is because when I was in my third year, many fourth year students used to tell that gate is something that you can never crack along with your along with your engineering studies. It's something that you need to take a year off and then prepare well to crack it. So there is no point you should start preparing now, because you will never be able to get a good rank along with engineering studies. But then I asked myself, is it really true? Like, is it like, can't you get that much time in along with your engineering studies so that you can at least attempt for an exam? So as I have mentioned it previously, I didn't used to care about the result. I never thought whether I would be getting the rank that I'm asking for. No, I just used to do my best. Like, this is the rule I followed. Like, do your best and forget the rest. Okay. So I just used to give my 100% to whatever I am focusing on, and the whatever the result is, I used to accept it. So there used to be many competitions and everything where I have given my 100%, but still I didn't get any result. So I used to participate in Smart India Hackathon. So I used to prepare. I used to attend various coding competitions and robotics competitions. I lost all of them. Like, I was never worried about losing, because I just used to enjoy being a part of it. So this is something which is very specific to me. If you get demotivated by failing or anything, then you should be highly selective about what you're trying. But to be honest, like, if you're not bothered about failing or succeeding, you are just, what you care about is learning through the process, then you should try each and everything that you come across. That would definitely help you to learn further. So there are certain questions. Could you please elaborate about some projects competitions which helped you get an internship at Amazon? Okay, so actually, so I participated in Smart India Hackathon, which in 2018, along with my friends. So that was one of the things that they used to give importance to. But yeah, and there were certain other competitions as well. So what I'll tell you is competitions and everything doesn't matter much. Why? Because what interview care about is what your knowledge is at the current point of time. So what I believe, the things that matter are, of course, the projects that you have done during your BTech. So that in BTech, in third year, there is third semester project, fourth semester project, all those things, assignments, projects, everything. Now the scenario might have changed. I'm not very much aware of it. So those projects also count. Like, when whatever you put in on your resume, that's something that interviewer will ask, and you should be able to explain what you have done as a part of it. So that's one of the point that is very much important. The second thing is competitive coding. Now, competitive coding is something that you should start as early as possible, preferably from second year. Preferably from your second semester. But yeah, some are not that comfortable with programming by the end of their first year. So you should start it from second year's beginning. Just code one problem a week or something like that. But believe me, the sooner you start, the better it would be. No one will tell you all those things, because they will just ask you to, like, chill during your engineering and all. But just solving one or two coding questions a week doesn't take a lot of your time. But it's a skill that is given the highest priority in any of the coding interviews, whether it be Google, Amazon, Facebook, anything like Microsoft. I have set for like 25 plus companies during my placements at IIT Bombay, and this was the only skill that was given the highest priority, not your projects. Projects and all, everything works during your interview. But to sit for the interview, you need to crack an aptitude test and a coding test. So yeah. So this is where lots of people make mistake. They are very much about they are very much worried about cracking the interview. Like, what should I answer? How should I answer a particular thing, rather than focusing on getting till the interview. Okay. So what the skills I'm telling you, the projects that you have, like, you can just learn Android development and prepare some of your Android apps, just the small ones, not like Facebook or anything as large as that. Just prepare some simple things so that you have something to demonstrate. And so that's from the project point of view. Prepare competitive coding, like start learning competitive coding. It's a very important thing for a computer science student. Believe me, like irrespective of whether you are from mechanical branch, civil branch, if you are an engineer and if you need to get a good job at tech companies, competitive coding is the highest priority thing, because that's the entry point to your interview. So yeah, there is one question: which is the best website for learning competitive coding? So again, I'm not very much aware of the current scenario, but I used to prepare from CodeChef, and HackerRank. So I'll share both of the links with you. Just give me a minute. So you can just note down the names. So these two websites I used to practice a lot. There are many other websites that I'll share with Ranjit sir. Then he can share them with you later on. But HackerRank is something that I used to find very much interesting because it used to start from the basics and everything. So yeah, I used to focus on learning from it. Actually, I can't find the homepage. Yeah, so this is the homepage for HackerRank. I'll share in both the chat section. So you may copy or you can just note down the names. Okay, now where was I? Yeah, so competitive coding is something that is very much important from your anything, like from your interview point of view or in general, if you want to crack off-campus interviews. So competitive coding will again help you there. Now coming to another question. You had both a job at Amazon and a very nice company and a chance to get a master's at IIT Bombay. What would you say was the reason to choose higher studies over job? Okay, so this is a question that has been asked like thousands of times. Means whoever meets me or whoever know me, that I had two options, always ask me about why you chose one thing over other. So to be honest, I didn't know much back then. Like it was just my gut feeling that I have prepared. Like I always had a dream to study from IIT Bombay, and that was one of the biggest reasons, because that was one of the biggest reasons back then, because I thought that I have got into Amazon from my BTech. So yeah, there is lots of things that I could still do once I pursue higher studies. So I should not limit myself to just job. I should explore my way of thinking. Why? Coming to that point, so let's consider if I wouldn't have taken masters. Okay, I wouldn't have chosen masters. So what would have happened? I was just in my early 20s. So I have like 40 years of career ahead of me, right? I have 40 years of career ahead of me, and at one point of time, masters is only a 2-year course. Okay, so what happened is when you're going to spend 40 years in a particular domain, so why not give two more years learning and understanding it, rather than just diving into it without knowing what works, what not works, what are the current trends in the technology is, and so on. So these two were the points that I used to think about a lot. I used to means there were lots of time that I have decided, no, I'll not go for higher studies. I don't want to get into all those tension for securing job and everything. I have something right now, and I'll proceed with it. But my elder brother was also there, who has also done his PhD from IIT Madras. So I was lucky enough to have him to guide me. So he mentioned that masters is something that will help you in longer run, and if you can get the same kind of job from there as well. But why not explore widen the knowledge that you can get from there. So that was one of the reasons I used to trust whatever he says, because he has always guided me throughout my engineering. So this was one of the most important point. Now thinking about it now, because then I was not aware whether my engineering, my masters would help me get a better job or anything like that. But if I think about it right now, so what I like to tell you is that this is how I look at life. Not everyone of you should think the same, but we need job and everything just to have certain experiences in life, right? So some of you need money to just travel to another country of your choice. Some of you need money to start your own company. Some of you might need it to buy something cool like a new laptop or anything like that. So you all have certain you all have certain choices and experiences that you need to buy. So money plays a very important role while buying that. But getting into a college of your choice, like not just IIT Bombay, anything, college of your choice or company of your choice, anything like that. So that's a experience that you can't buy, right? So even if you pay unlimited amount of money, there is nothing you can do to get into IIT Bombay or any other college except for cracking the exam, entrance exam for that, right? So this is how I look at life in general from this point of view, that I'll always run for I'll always chase the experiences, whichever way it get me. Like if cracking exam is the entry point that can give me those experience, then I'll have to do it. If money will buy me that experience, then I'll have to have money. So this was my overall plan. Like IIT is something that you can't just get with money or anything else or through your contacts. It's something that you need to crack and you need to earn it, right? You need to prepare a lot for it. Like people spend 2 years preparing for it, 1 year preparing for it, and all those. So this was one of the most important point that I thought about. So this was again like my elder brother helped me understand is that that's a complete new experience, the hostel life. I had never enjoyed I have never experienced the hostel life. I was a native of Nagpur only, right? So hostel life was something that I've never experienced, and I knew that if I don't do masters and everything, all these experiences I'll never get anywhere later on. So yeah, and I just have 2 to 3 months left for my masters, and believe me, I don't regret a bit of it. Like even if my job was not better than Amazon at that point of time, I would have worried a bit about it, because yeah, means everyone is worried about moving higher in life. But looking at what I've gained from here, like the group of friends, the type of people I have interacted with, I'm not saying that IIT Bombay or any other IIT is important. I'm just saying that you should think in this direction, like which set of people you enjoy a lot with, like what are the discussions that you can have, all those things. Okay. So that was one of the major motive. First, that like it's a very long journey, so you should be focusing on understanding it rather than just running in one direction. Because I was not aware whether I should be proceeding with machine learning, artificial intelligence, or I should be proceeding with software developer. So all those things I explored there. So yeah, the third question is, can you tell which languages you learned in college, and did you learn any by your own? Okay. So again, a very good question. So first of all, I learned all the languages on my own, to be honest. Like the college used to teach very good manner, and I used to practice it there. But I knew that coding is something that you need to understand on your own. It's not something that someone will teach you these 2 lines and you will understand the entire coding from that. It's something that you need to practice again and again. You need to put your logic into this and that. So there are of course some concepts like object-oriented programming. So I've always found the object-oriented programming algorithms lecture, each and every lecture from these two subjects were very much interesting to me during my college. So, but I learned programming languages by just coding, competitive coding. I used to code in general programs for it, the lab exam, and all those things. So most of the learning has happened on my own. And believe me, like this applies to all of you as well. If you are entering the field of computer science or in general engineering, your faculty members will only be help to you if you can work on your own. Like they can give you a proper direction, or they can give you a head start in understanding a certain thing, but you can't expect each and everything from any person, be it IIT or be it any other college. This is something that you need to explore on your own. They'll just teach you a proper roadmap for it, but it's you who need to explore each and every part of it. So please tell us a little about ICPC and when should we start caring about it? Okay, so ICPC is like just another exam that like just another competition, but it is the most highly rated competition. Like the one who is supposed to get there is considered as, yeah, he knows programming in a very better manner. So coming to the point, you should really care about it from the second year. Like from the second year, you should have an aim to apply for that competition. It happens once a year, I guess. So from the second year, you should be very much serious about attempting it. As I mentioned that I've also attempted it, but I didn't clear it, right? ICPC was also one of the exams that I've attempted, but never cleared it. also the regionals. I didn't clear the college level as well at that point of time. Why? Because coding is not that simple. Means you need to practice a lot. There were lots of good students in my batch as well who tried it, and they were also not able to crack. Some of the students cracked and they were exceptionally good at it. So they used to practice a lot. It's not like something like they just used to open their brain, feed it into it, and then lock, and yeah, they know everything. It never happened that way. They used to practice day and night for this thing, and this is very highly reputed competition. So my suggestion to you would be ICPC should be your aim, like something that you should be preparing with. But even the stars, like on CodeChef, there is a star, like 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. So even the stars matters, like on at which level you are on CodeChef, at which level you are on any other programming website. So all this also play a vital role. So ICPC is not the only thing that matters while recruiting. It's one of the things that will help you get the best out of it. But again, your ranking on various other coding platforms are also something that you can highlight. Now, can you please elaborate more on your internship? So internship is something that you should not be carrying at current point of time, because internship comes when you have learned a lot on your own, right? Internship will only help you fuel it. So internship is also very specific to the organization that you're working with. So when I was working at Amazon, I used to work on various tools that were very specific to Amazon. So like explaining you those tools won't be of very much benefit to you. But yeah, that tools can be understood only through the concept of your fundamentals of programming and the object-oriented programming and all those things, and the programming language. So programming language is the interface between the computer and the humans, right? You need to write that language in order to help the computer understand what you're trying to make it do. So what you should be caring about at this point of time is learning new skills, like whether it be web development, Android development, programming languages is a must. So I'll recommend you learning at least two programming languages. C is like definitely means there is no choice. You need to learn C, and you need to start with C programming. But the second that I usually prefer is C++. So once you are done with C, you should start with C++ programming language. Then you should learn Python or Java. It's usually C++ or Java. So there I'll prefer, there I'll ask you to prefer C++ over Java. But for Android point of view, Java is very much important. Nowadays, there is Flutter and lots of such skills which you can just Google out, because you might be better understanding those new technologies than me. So coming to languages, so C, C++, and Python. For data science students, Python is a must. Like you can't compromise over that. And C++ is something that I usually prefer for competitive coding and all those things. So again, Python can also be used for competitive coding. So Python is a must from data science perspective as well as from coding perspective. Okay, so you should prefer C, C++, and Python, among which Python should be of the highest priority after C. So this is what I think about the programming languages. Then should be the correct time to start preparing off-campus interviews, and how to start with scratch for competitive coding. So again, I've shared 2 links with you. You can explore. There is I don't remember. There are lots of such websites. I'll share them with sir, and he can tell you guys. So yeah, what is the best website for learning competitive coding? There is CodeChef, HackerRank, each and everything. From learning perspective, HackerRank is the best because it has a certain set of problems you can learn topic wise from. CodeChef is more about competitive coding competitions. Okay, so there is a 3 hours competition that you need to prepare, that you need to solve, and so all those things will prepare you to code in a very time constrained manner. But HackerRank is very much important from the learning point of view. Hacker Earth or HackerRank, which is better? This is very like, please don't ask such questions, because if I tell you HackerRank is better, I haven't tried Hacker Earth that much, right? So I would be very much biased with what I think. You should explore on your own, and you should start with whichever you feel is better. There are students who have cracked good exams with Hacker Earth. So it's not like which college you should prefer. It's something that is just a platform to practice certain things. Okay, it doesn't matter which platform that is. Some people believe that being an intern, startup provides which you more opportunities to learn in MNCs. Do you think the same, or it is other way around? Actually, I don't, to be honest, I don't have very much experience right now. As you know that I've only done one internship during my life, which is at Amazon, which is an MNC, of course. So like I used to enjoy working at Amazon also. So rather than answering it in which is better, I would say that whatever you think is better, you should proceed. I used to enjoy the life at Amazon a lot. Like I would never compromise anything on that. So the lifestyle or the people I used to be surrounded with, that used to be of very much like, I used to be highly motivated looking at those people, and I used to learn a lot from them. So again, it's about a perspective. You can learn a lot at MNCs as well. It's a hype that people have created that startups, at startups you learn a lot of things, and not at MNCs. It's very specific to them. I have learned a lot at MNCs as well, and it's a personal choice. So it's just that at startup you have a large set of responsibilities as compared to MNCs, but it's again a personal choice. Okay. Do companies consider hacker rank scores and certificates? Yes, they do consider, but the time is changing. Like it's something that will give you an interview, but you should not do certain things just for certificates point of view. Like it should not be like there is certain certification course on this, let's do that as well. It's okay to explore, but you should be highly specific. Like you should be jack of all, master of one kind of a person. Like I used to believe in this concept, like be a jack of all. Like you have done a bit of web development, you know what HTML, CSS is. You have done a bit of Android, you know what Android application development is. So be that kind of a person, but be focused on one particular skill, which you can demonstrate to a person while hiring. Because if you have done just this part of web development and someone has created this part, so they'll always prefer someone who has more in-depth knowledge into that, right? So this is something you should be focusing on. The reason you opted for higher studies in India or abroad? So it's a personal choice, means I didn't had any plan to move abroad at that point of time. My aim to get into IIT Bombay specifically was to get that kind of an environment, because IIT Bombay, as compared to other IITs, used to be very much tech friendly. Like there used to be a startup culture within it, and I was very much interested in pursuing like entrepreneurship as like at personal level. I still look for opportunities, and I still think about what I can do to get into this domain. So I've always been interested about like startups and entrepreneurship since my end of second year, I guess. So I didn't had that much knowledge or resources to get started with. So preferring IIT Bombay over all those colleges was the startup culture. Like I believe that India is one of the greatest hub for entrepreneurship. So that's why I chose IIT Bombay over any other college. So there is a like what I can say, incubation centers. So there is incubation center at RCOM as well. I used to be a part of it. So there is incubation center at IIT Bombay itself. Like you have an idea, they are ready to fund it and provide you with all the resources and all those things. So that was one of the important things to get in contact, and to get those resources was one of the reasons. When one should start web development and Android development? As right now I'm learning C language. Yeah, so C language is something that you need to understand for getting started with the programming journey. But app development and website development is something that you can demonstrate to other person, right? If I ask you how much of a C programming do you know, there's no way you can tell me, right? Because you can't show it. It's just something which is inside your brain. But if you create a very good website, or if you create a very interactive Android application, so that's something I can understand. Yeah, you do know these skills, right? So it's just from the demonstration point of view. Even if you are very good at coding, if you can't demonstrate your work, then no one will be able to understand much, right? So that's why you do projects and each and everything, so that you can get those skills into implementation. So I'll also come to the comments in the other meeting, but let me just finish here. So what minimum CGPA do I need to maintain? So this is again a very personal choice. I have, to be honest, I never ran after marks or CGPA kind of thing. It's just this perspective I used to have, that it's always better to keep better things. This is the perspective that I follow. So unless you have a very strong reason for not to have a good marks, then only you should not worry about marks. Otherwise, if you can get good marks in just 1 week, of focused studies, then why you should not have a good CGPA? So my CGPA at the end of 4 years was 9.01. there were many students who had scored 9.6, 9.7, and that used to be their priority. Like I never used to I never used to prioritize getting a 10 pointer or 9 pointer. It's just something that I used to be very serious about it. Like when I used to prepare for exams, I used to be very serious about it. But it's not like that. I used to be that much serious that I'll not do anything else apart from studying. So believe me, I've never given more than a week. And on an average, I used to just give 2 to 3 days for a particular exam, and I used to get good marks. Why? Because I used to be very much focused for those 2 to 3 days, and that used to be sufficient for me. So this is again very personal choice. I cleared it within 2 to 3 days. Doesn't mean each and everyone can do, and some of you can do it within one day as well. So that's very personal choice. You should not look at others while doing this. And this brings me to very important thing. So when you are in engineering, don't focus on what others are doing and getting a lot of tensed about it. So when I used to be in engineering, lots of people used to do lots of things. Like some used to score a 10 pointer, some used to focus on learning this, some used to focus on that. So it's something that should be very much specific to a person. Okay. uh, Means he has a aim of being a class topper doesn't mean all of each and every one of you should aim to be that. Okay, you should have your own goals. If being a topper is a goal, you should achieve that. If being something like if pursuing something other thing is your motive, you should run after that. Okay, so each and every one of you should be focusing on exploring yourself rather than just sticking to what others are doing. I never used to focus on what others are doing. It's not like that. I never used to care, like, yeah, whatever they are doing. I used to be means helpful. I used to be of help to them. They used to be of help to me whenever there was discussion. But I was never looking at it from that point of view. Yeah, he is doing that, so I should be doing. I used to think, okay, whether I should be doing it or not, will that add value to what I want to do ultimately? And if it was not within those lines, I didn't used to get into that. GRE, I don't have any idea. So sorry for that. You can link to any other person. So coming to minimum CGPA, I should be maintaining. So I'll recommend minimum of 7.5 to 8. That's the minimum. Because to be honest, if I give you a set of students and you don't know anything about them, right? So what you'll do, that you will judge them on the basis of the pointer that they have. This is a well-known fact. Whether it is correct or not correct, I don't know about that. This is something that happens, and I won't give you false hopes. You should have a good pointer, like above 7.5 to above 8. That's the minimum requirement that you should be focusing on. And you are in just first year. You have nothing. You have not lost anything yet, right? So that's why this I am recommending you right now. So just keep that in mind, that you need to maintain this much pointer. Yeah, personally for me, GDL will not nice experience. How is GATE preparation different from GPD? So preparation for any exam is the same. Like it's not something fancy that you can post on Instagram or you can post on Facebook or you can show the world that, yeah, I'm preparing for this exam, look at me. It's not like that. It's a very boring task, but the fruits that it gives is the equally beneficial to you. So as it's a very famous quote that nothing worth having comes easy, right? So yeah, being a college topper, it is very easy as compared to cracking a GATE exam or any other entrance exam. So when you are a college topper, it's easy, but it's not worth having. But if you have cracked certain entrance exam, it's not at all easy, but it's worth having, right? You can relate it to any other thing. If you what if you are choosing something different other than one field. So if it is tougher, the higher the benefits of it is. If you are pursuing entrepreneurship over any other thing, so the tougher the journeys, the better the results are, right? So this is what I believe in. So I don't believe that whether preparation would be easy or hard. It would be definitely hard because it is something worth having. Not each and everyone can do it, right? There are 1 lakh students who appear for GATE exam as well. And from that, getting a rank under 100 is not a cakewalk, right? You also know that. So that's it. Means you should be focused on it, what your aim is, whether it is worth having for you or not. And be always prepared to fail as well. Like I was also prepared, what if I don't get a rank? That's why I secured I secured another job as well. Because I won't put you in a situation that, yeah, if you work for something, you will definitely get it. That usually doesn't happen. What happens is you need to try 1,000 things, and at least 2 to 3 out of them should work. This is something I believe in. So that's why I try each and everything that I come across, and I expect returns in them. So what should be priority at the present circumstances being a first semester? As I mentioned, in your first semester or first year, your priority should be to not to compromise on your CGP or anything, because those getting good results in those days would highly motivate you, and it will keep you away from the pressure of having low marks, because having low marks is one of the pressure that people tend to get depressed due to. I've never been among those students. Means I used to be clear that yeah, if I'm focusing on something else, I lose my marks and all those things, and I used to be prepared for it. But for some, getting low marks is very demotivating, and then it's a downfall. Like they think that yeah, I haven't been able to crack this simple exam. Then what happened? So if you are one among them, then you should be focusing on your exams, and when you get free time, you should be focusing on other skills. But if you are someone that can score well along with some other preparations, so always focus on learning competitive coding and all those computer science related skills that you think will be helpful for you from interview point of view. Did you ever thought that you should pursue your masters from abroad? No, as I mentioned already, I had certain plans. Can you tell which programming language is most important for AI/ML? Said Python for data science. Yeah, so AI/ML is nothing. Like ML is just AI/ML is just a subset of data science, right? So Python is the only language that I think you should be starting with. There is R language. There are various other languages, but Python is a must. So that's something you should definitely start pursuing. And it is one of the most simplest syntactical driven language. So there is not much syntax that you need to learn. So that's something you should start with. Can do competitive programming for now onward because I do it. So is it right? Yeah, definitely. Like why not? If you start early, you will get the benefits earlier, or you will get better in that particular field. So this is this is something that very few people understand. So if we take example of Sachin Tendulkar, Shah Rukh Khan, all those people, so they have spent like 10 to 15 years in that particular field, and then you know them as a Sachin Tendulkar or that. You don't know the struggle that they had for 10 years, right? So this is something that applies to each and every field. If you're ready to spend that much time brushing up your concepts and getting good at it, so you will definitely be something different from others in that, right? If you spend just 5 to 10 minutes a day on something, and someone is there spending a whole day learning that skill, so he'll definitely learn more than you, and he'll definitely perform better than you. So there's nothing like being competitive about it. It's just about what you prioritize for you, and you should be focused on that, right? Sad, no, I didn't try any of that. Should we invest more time in software development, competitive programming, hackathons, or start gate preparation from the start? Okay, so gate preparation is something that you should start once you have a thorough idea about the subjects. Now, when does that happen? So once you are done with a particular college, then you should pick that subject and start preparing it for gate point of view. From now on, if I'll ask you to prepare for gate, it will just waste your time, because you don't understand what this subject is, what TOC is, what operating system is. So there's no point understanding it. Once you are done with that subject during your college, then you should start solving MCQs or the previous year gate questions for that, and that should be the process. And at the end, you should be highly focused. Like giving 1 month now is equivalent to giving 2 to 3 days once you understand that thing, right? Because now for 10 days, you will just keep learning and you'll not understand. But once you have understand, it's just 2 or 3 days thing to cover that 10 portion for you. So even we invest more time in software, this is done. Is CGPA matter pursuing master from top college? Is matter to what extent? CGPA is something that matters for a 3-year students, not for 2-year students. So I'm a 2-year student. So for 2-year students, only your gate rank matters. So mine was 60. It's up to 80 rank, I think, that they get admission at IIT Bombay for a 2-year program. After that, everything matters, like your project. It's like a job interview. You need to go through a particular interview in order to get admission there. So there are various other college, various other procedure, but this is what I am trying to explain you. CGPA is not something that you should sacrifice just for acting cool, right? It's a very cool thing in engineering to have a low CGPA and brag about it. So believe me, this doesn't work in real life scenarios. CGPA does matter. And as you can see, I have also maintained a good CGPA of 9.01. So that was my good, like just maintain 8.5 above or 9 in that range. and I maintained that only. I never aimed for 9.5 or 9.9. Even if I knew that I spend some more time, I can definitely get that. But that was never my priority. So that's why you should have a minimum range and you should be focused on that. Because everything matters, right? Means if you're not having a good CGPA, you should have a very strong reason to have a backup. Like you should be very, very good at competitive coding so that someone can neglect your marks. It's that way. You should have something exceptional if not marks. So what are your plans once you have completed your masters? So this is something that is very much personal. Means I haven't thought about it whether I'll be doing this or that. So I only talk about things that I have done. So there are lots of plans, but I haven't implemented them yet. Means I keep on thinking about entrepreneurship. I keep on thinking about job and each and everything simultaneously. So there are lots of plans. If I do anything in future, then you will definitely get to know about it. So what do you feel the impact of LinkedIn profile has in any student's life? So yeah, means why not? Like if you can have something good, you should keep it that way. So LinkedIn is something, it's like a Facebook for hiring, right? So how can a person get to know about your skills from distant? He can only have a look at your LinkedIn profile and each and everything. So yeah, you should maintain your profile. It's not something you should use it on daily basis. You should maintain your projects and each and everything there. So this is something that you will learn as you proceed. Now let's come to the chat section in the second thing. Uh, Platforms for competitive coding is done. Which is better according to masters from a broader India? No comments on that. That's very specific. Which mathematics topics are important for GATE perspective, like permutation combination? Please suggest some topics. This is something that is again very specific to the exam. So I used to have this motive that each and every topic is equally important, because if you believe in luck, then I'll tell you that this particular topic will come, and if it comes, then you are lucky. If it doesn't come, you are unlucky. But if you prepare, if you don't want to compromise on anything, so each and every topic is equally important for you. So that's the rule I follow. I if I prepare for something, I don't believe in luck, like whether this question will come, so I'll solve. If I'm preparing, I should be prepared for each and everything as far as I can. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Which did you study languages on your own, by books or videos? So videos was something that I used to prefer, but I've read Let Us See book, which is by Yashwant Kanetkar sir. So it used to be very much interesting to get started with the programming. But videos used to be one of the major thing. And moreover, videos, implementing it on my own was one of the most important thing and the most beneficial thing that I have. RCM help you in your journey? Yeah, so RCM was the place where I explored myself, right? Till, as I mentioned, till first I didn't knew what I'm going to do. But as soon as the opportunities came across, I met a lot of good friends there. I have lots of great memories. I came across, means lots of faculty members that I am still a huge fan of. So all these things matter. Like it's a complete journey. So all those 4 years helped me learn a lot of things that you should always try on your own before listening to someone else. That's something I've learned. Then you should always try irrespective of the result that it will give you, because the results are something that can only be detected once the event has ended. But you should focus on the journey itself, right? Because if I tell you you will not go, you are not going to get selected, will you still learn that particular skill? And that's something I've learned from engineering. So each and everything, like interactive, how to be interactive with others, how to make the best out of your time, how to manage your time. So that's something, one of the most important skill that I've learned, how to manage my time, because there are lots of things that I do in parallel, and it's because of those skills that I can handle it all things together. So what kind of work you did at Amazon? So that's again very specific to company, that won't help you much. Why you chose MTech over CAT? You were interested in entrepreneurship as well. Yeah, but I am interested in getting into entrepreneurship from the technical perspective of it. So I knew that having the knowledge of data science, machine learning, each and everything will help you scale up a lot of things in future rather than just the development part of it. So for these 2 years, I focused on understanding the scalability. Like data science is all about handling lots of data and making the best out of it, like making the best predictions and all those things. So this was my aim, to get into this field so that I know how to make the best out of the resources in hand. development versus competitive, which do you prefer? So I'll definitely prefer competitive coding because, as I mentioned, that it is the entry point. Your logic is defined by how good you are at competitive coding, and competitive coding, along with your ranking, they will give you competitive questions during your interviews. So that's very important. Development is something that should go hand in hand, right? It should be something that you can display your work with. You can create a very beautiful website. You can create a very interactive app. All those things should be a part of demonstrating your work. But competitive coding is all about logic that is preferred at the most in uh, any company. Is it possible to give GATE in third year itself and do bachelor's and master's together in fourth year of engineering? No, so I'm not sure about this. If you can give it in third year, I think looking at the current guidelines, giving it in third year is also possible. But when you give it in third year, you only get rank, and on the basis of that, you can pursue it after your BTech. You can never pursue 2 degrees simultaneously, so that doesn't happen. But if you give it in third year, there are two benefits. First, you will be serious about it from the beginning. There is second thing, you will understand all the process beforehand, so that you will not be that much pressurized when you're giving the actual exam. And if you have scored good in your first attempt only, then there's no need to worry about what you need to do after that. So during my time, only giving it in fourth year was what allowed, and that's why I gave it only once. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I have tried to cover each and everything asked, and my experiences in these things. So this would be all about it. So coming to your engineering, it's a 4-year program, and looking at how fast the world is changing, you should be learning lots of new things. Believe me, like, not from the depth point of view. As I've told, try to be jack of all and master of one. Be a master of one concept, but be jack of lots of things, like website development, Android development, uh, uh, what it can be, social media marketing, all those things. Listen to very smart conversations, then spend time with friends, learn new things, have fun. Each and every perspective of life you should enjoy, rather than just staying focused to one. So the problem with staying focused to one is you never get to explore yourself. Okay, and that's not a good thing. So yeah, just keep exploring, and this is a field, believe me, which will always give you chance to explore yourself. No matter how, at what stage you are, how much industry experience you have, there will always be something that you should be learning and implementing. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Aditya, for a very nice interaction with your juniors. I hope that I personally enjoyed your interaction. I hope that the students also enjoyed this inspiration, and they will take a lot of things through this. This inspiration. Okay. So, is it possible, Aditya, to paste here your email ID so that if in future students how to contact with you, they can contact you.
Sure. Sure, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So again, thank you. I hope that the students who require any help, they will always in touch with you in future also. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Again,
Yeah.
thanks for your guidance from my side as well as from student sides as well as from our college side also.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
And whenever
Thank you for
things will
having
be
me.
fine, then certainly we hope that I will see you in the campus also with all these
Sure, sir.
updates.
I would
Okay.
be
Okay.
glad to
Thank
visit.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Have a
Okay.
nice day, everyone. All the very best for your future. Hope you get what you are looking for. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay.